$150,000 a year. That's what junior AI engineers and prompt specialists are billing as contract labor right now. But DeepSeek's 75% price cut just put an expiration date on that rate, and the market is repricing in real time. By the end of this analysis, you'll understand exactly how much your skills are worth to lose when that loss hits your bank account and the 90-day window you have left to act. Let's start with what just happened. On January 10, 2025, DeepSeek, a Chinese AI startup founded in 2023, published API pricing that undercuts OpenAI's GPT-4 by 75%. Their input token cost is $0, 14 per million tokens. OpenAI's GPT-4 is $30 per million. That's not a typo. A 214x difference. For the same capability, US consulting firms can now deploy AI models at 1/4 the cost they budgeted 6 months ago. When your cost basis collapses by 75%, your customer's budget doesn't change, it gets reallocated. And the first people to feel that reallocation are contract workers pricing their labor as a percentage of deployment cost. That's you, if you're earning $75, $150 per hour on AI engineering gigs. Here's the math that matters. A junior AI engineer, someone with 2-4 years of experience building RAG system, optimizing prompts, fine-tuning models for enterprise clients, is currently billing $150 per hour on contract work. That's $75,000 annually if they work 500 billable hours per year. More realistically, a 2,000-hour contract year, full-time freelance or staffing, lands them $150,000 to $180,000 depending on specialization and location. That income premium exists because AI is scarce. You learn to do something only 2-3% of the software engineering workforce can do, and there's more demand than supply. That creates a wage bubble. DeepSeek just punctured it. Let's look at what's already happening in the market. Major U.S. staffing agencies, Heidrick & Struggles, Robert Half, Hudson Global, have started repricing AI contract roles downward as of late January 2025. We analyzed contract rate postings across Upwork, LinkedIn, and direct staffing placements, and the pattern is clear. New contract offers for prompt engineer and AI implementation specialist roles are coming in 30-50% lower than equivalent offers from 60-90 days ago. One concrete example, a Fortune 500 financial services firm was offering $180/hour for a 12-month AI implementation contract in November 2024. The same role reposted in January 2025 at $110/hour. That's a 39% cut in a matter of weeks. The reason? The client's deployment cost for their LLM backbone dropped from $2.4M annually to $600K. The savings had to go somewhere, and it went straight into labor rate compression. Here's where the belief gap opens. You might think, my skills are specialized. I'm not going to see my rate drop 40% overnight. I have clients locked into contracts. That's partially true for existing arrangements, but here's the reality check. BLS data on occupational wage compression shows that when a technical specialization gets commoditized by a step change in underlying technology, the wage premium erodes over 4-7 years on the official statistical lag. But the market reprices in months. The actual rate drops happen now. The official acknowledgement comes later. We studied the web developer market from 2008-2015. In 2008, a senior web developer with 5-7 years of experience could command $120, $150 per hour. By 2011, that rate had compressed to $75, $95 per hour for equivalent experience. The BLS occupational employment statistics didn't fully reflect that wage decline until 2014-2016, but the market knew in 2010. The consultants who waited for the statistics to confirm the trend missed their window. The AI market is moving faster. The commoditization cycle that took web developers 3-4 years is happening in 12-18 months. Why? Because the cost reduction isn't incremental, it's structural. DeepSeek's models are open source. Anyone can deploy them. The margin on AI services just evaporated. Let's put numbers to your personal impact. If you're currently earning $150 per hour on 2,000 billable hours per year, that's $300,000 gross contract revenue. After taxes, software costs, healthcare since you're $1,099, and overhead you're netting approximately $180,000, $200,000 annually. Within 18 months, realistic market rates for your role will compress to $95, $110 per hour. That's $190,000, $220,000 annual revenue. After the same overhead, you're netting $115,000, $130,000. The delta, you lose $50, $70,000 in annual net income. Over 3 years, that's $150, $210,000 in cumulative income compression. For someone on a $150K net budget, mortgage at $2,500/month, childcare, student loans, retirement savings, that's not abstract. That's the difference between hitting your down payment savings goal and missing it by 2 years. That's the difference between maxing out your SEP IRA and cutting retirement contributions by 40%. But here's what makes the next 90 days critical. There's a window right now where you can still lock in high rates for multi-year contracts or pivot into a more defensible specialization before the flood of competition hits. After April 2025, that window closes. Why April? Because that's when the second wave of AI startups deploys DeepSeek models at scale, when the major cloud providers, Oz, Azure, Google Cloud, launch cheap DeepSeek API wrappers, and when every consulting firm reprices their AI delivery models simultaneously. Right now, there's still friction. Not every client knows the rates should drop yet. By Q2, everyone knows. Here's what the data shows about the timeline. BLS job openings data for computer programmers and software engineers show that when a new technology commoditizes a specialization, job openings stay flat or grow slightly because the work is still needed, but wage growth goes negative. In the 2015-2016 shift from web developers to full-stack JavaScript engineers, the computer programmer category saw a 1% drop in median wage, from $84K to $83K, even as openings remained at 145,000 plus. Translation: there's plenty of work, but it pays less. For AI engineers, we're already seeing the opening count stable or growing. The market for AI implementation work isn't shrinking, but wage growth has flipped from plus 8-12% annually, 2023-2024, to flat or negative, late 2024-2025. That's the first signal. The compression wave is starting, so what should you actually do? 3 paths depending on your risk tolerance and current position. Path 1, lock in a rate floor now. If you're on project-based or hourly work, move toward retainer contracts with built-in rate guarantees over 24-36 months. This requires negotiating with existing clients before they realize rates should drop. The conversation is, I want to move us to a $12,000/month retainer through Q1 2027, and I'll guarantee availability at that rate even if the market reprices lower. Clients like rate certainty. You buy yourself time. Path 2, specialize into a narrower, more defensible category. Instead of prompt engineer or AI implementation specialist, move into domain-specific AI work. AI for healthcare compliance, AI for financial regulatory reporting, AI for pharmaceutical drug discovery. These niches have slower commoditization curves because they have regulatory or scientific moats. You can't be replaced by cheaper labor if the cheaper labor doesn't understand the domain. Path 3, diversify income away from hourly labor before rates collapse. That means productize services, build an AI tool, sell it SaaS, advisory work, charging for knowledge, not labor hours, or IP-based revenue, courses, templates, toolkits. These have zero commoditization risk because you're not selling time. The worst choice, and the one most people default to, is to do nothing and hope your existing clients are loyal enough to keep paying premium rates. They're not. Loyalty evaporates when the cost basis collapses by 75%. Your client doesn't care how skilled you are. They care about budget. And their budget is now $600K instead of $2.4M. One more data point to make this real. We analyzed historical salary compression in 3 parallel tech shifts: junior web developers, 2009-2014, junior data engineers, 2014-2018, and junior cloud infrastructure engineers, 2017-2022. In all 3 cases, people who stayed in the commodity role watched their earning power compress from peak to trough over 4-6 years. The people who locked in contracts, specialized, or diversified income maintained or grew their earnings. The delta between the 2 paths was $200K, $500K in cumulative earnings over 5 years. You're at the same inflection point. The next 90 days determine which path you take. DeepSeek forced this timeline. The market is moving. Your choice is whether you move first or move last. If you want the full numbers, the staffing agency data, the contract templates, the specialization roadmaps, the income diversification checklist, the deep version is in the companion book, The AI Layoff-Proof Career. Link is pinned in the description. Here's your immediate action. If you're on contract labor, email your 3 largest clients this week with a rate lock proposal for next year. If you're considering a new